You still change slides, please.
Well, it sounds as if it is time to wake up, because the clock just let us know that it is exactly on the hour and 12 o'clock, and maybe it's a good thing for us to start. Welcome to all of you who are interested, and thank you for your time and also the opportunity to share some interest with the work that we do here at the IEDC. My name is Dirkus Kriek, and I am...
Yeah.
Here we have some competition here. I just want to know if maybe it is okay for me to start. But let me just say again, I'm Dirkus Kriek, and I'm Professor of Leadership here at the Business School. I'm Deputy Dean for Pedagogy and all things to do with PhD, and our recently established DBA also falls under my watch. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you all and share some of the things, what we do here today with you in Africa as well. And may I also just say that I'm a South African, so it is with a little piece of Africa that I greet you here from a very hot and warm Slovenia this time of the year. We will probably just give you somewhat of a brief overview of the school, very short and very brief, also just to locate that. And then I will take time to introduce some of the programs, what we have, and then in the end, something a little bit more specific in terms of programs. We will also share with you the screen, so that there is a screenshot all the time, and I will switch through that to make it easier to explain a few things, and also easier for you to understand potentially some of the stuff that we do. And with that, to start, you will see that this is the aerial shot actually from a mountain not far away here of our little place of the world called Bled in Slovenia. You would see the island in the middle, and there directly above the church tower there is a castle, a 1,000-year-old castle. And just to the right of the castle, as you look, you will see there's another church at the bottom and a white spot there, and that around there is where our school is situated. So it is not without any exaggeration that we call our school with a view, because it is a spectacular natural view, but it also allows the school to connect with where management, education, leadership development goes, and also how to connect people across the world with a view of being together. The school has been in existence for 33 years, and it actually started even in the old Yugoslavia, and now has been a pillar of management education in Central and Eastern Europe, and also beyond that, with around 90,000 alumni already who had been part of the school, or actually participants that had been part of the school over the past 30 years. We are also proud to say that it is truly international. The IEDC stands for the International Executive Development Center, which is here in Bled. And the I is particularly important because we put a high premium to make it international. Not only our flagship programs, the formal ones, the PhD and DBA, and also the MBA, is really full and with a broad range of people from all over the world, but also the other programs reaches beyond the shores of Slovenia pretty easily and extensively. We want, as a school, try to focus and offer a product, a range of products that builds on lifelong learning. So we work from people, young talent, all the way to somebody who would like to have as the pinnacle of their development, or as the pinnacle of their academic career, also a terminal degree. And as what you would see there, the range is therefore also built so that it could be seen somewhat linear, or we would rather want to call it iterative or circular, so that there's always an opportunity of the one to build onto the other, but they don't necessarily mean that you cannot step up and do some of the stuff at other parts as well. So maybe I will take some time throughout the presentation just to go through these programs, starting there at the left bottom, the Young Managers Program, our first entry or first connection here at the school with people in management, and then move through the other programs all the way to the executive PhD, or as what was recently also introduced, a doctoral in business administration. As you would see, the very first one that we would like to focus on relates to the Young Managers Program. Young Managers Program is structured for people who make their first transition into leadership. It doesn't necessarily only mean age as defining young, but rather young as managers, and therefore the focus is on the transition from moving maybe from a more specialist field or maybe a functional or a disciplinary field into the first experience of more general management, and also the responsibility that may come for the first time to lead. Therefore, we include courses that are somewhat functional, but more so those who's got to reach beyond just that into general management, like what you will see focusing on leadership and also marketing, but from a particular broad perspective. The next course for that, as you will see on the screen, is in June and July of next year, 23rd of June it starts, it's 10 days. I'm the program director there of that program, and it's also one of our most exciting programs, as it brings people from really across Europe and other parts of the world to join in a program that is dynamic, that is fast moving, that it's also something that the students and participants enjoy quite particularly well. The next area of focus are those that have got a slightly longer focus, whereas the Young Managers is a short 10-day program, consecutive 10 days. The General Management Program and some of the longer ones are built over a longer period of time and has got the modular design. Maybe first of all to talk about the General Management Program, GMP. GMP is covered in two modules, two-week long modules, where in the first one, the focus is on issues relating to decision making, communication, leading change, and also the introduction to a project or a business issue that I will speak to in a little while. In the second one, the focus moves to leading with people. We talk about creating competitive advantage that relates to a very specific focus around marketing as well, measuring financial performance or organizational performance that relates to more the financial parts of business, and then customers and marketing customers and markets relate to marketing. You may see that they are structured as two modules, but they are not consecutive. So you can start with either one of them, as the next one starts in November. For those of you in Africa, November here would be slightly cooler than what you would be used to from a November in Africa, but it's a very exciting time to be here, as also a very beautiful time, as there is already maybe the first opportunities to have some snow, although not necessarily a bit, but if you are lucky, you may have some snow already. And then in May is the second part. Next year, that will be in May 17 to the 30th, the 2 weeks, last 2 weeks in May, when we will have the second module, and whichever one you want to start with, you can do that, and then you can follow up as one of the next two blocks thereafter. I mentioned that I will speak a little bit about what you see there in Module 2 called the GMP project. That is an individual project that participants are required to address within their own field of interest, and most of the time their own companies or their own organizations, where the opportunity is to with the learning that they have, with the knowledge that they gained, with the experience that has been expanded through the program, to address a challenge, a particular business challenge within the organization, and then to present that back to the school, back to their classmates, and then the opportunity to learn also from what other people suggested, and also to learn from some of the opportunities that they have beyond just your own particular issues, but learn from other people's struggles and strives, but also the ways in which they deal with that, that maybe also give you some idea on how to maybe bring that back into your own organizations. I should also mention that the general management program also have an area of specialization, particularly in purchasing management, where in the past two modules, or last module, the second one, there is opportunity to do that as an area of specialization, where we work with the European Institute of Purchasing Management, who offers the courses. They are they are one of the most prominent producers of learning and development material within that field, and you have the opportunity to use that then also as a learning experience. If we move to the next one, we get to what is called the Master's Program in Management. That is our executive MBA. The MBA is structured that you actually obtain two diplomas, one formal one that is got the status, the European Bologna Declaration aligned status of a master's. I'm sorry. And that then is also tied or aligned with getting an international accredited, AMBA accredited, and IQA accredited MBA on top of the master. So it's the two that you get together. For that, you would see there that we have two formats. There is the 1 year full-time or the 1 year module, where you can do the 17 weeks that are organized and structured into 4 modules. You can complete that all in 1 year. That is demanding, but also very exciting, and as it gives you an opportunity to take into your own life and your own set of experiences, and also into the way in which you do business, some real quick dramatic change over a year in terms of obtaining an MBA. And people who participate that perceive that to be quite transforming quite often. However, it is also sometimes, because of demands of work, business, personal life, more realistic, or also for some people more practical, to do that and stretch that over a longer period. 2-year EMBA offers therefore the 17 weeks organized in 7 modules, but then spread over 2 years. So those are the same number of days, number of weeks, but with more modules, and therefore it allows you opportunity to come here more often. But the flip side of that is to be away from office and away from family and other responsibilities longer. And then there's also a 3-year EMBA that is tailored around participants' specific needs, specific focus areas, specific areas of discipline, that therefore can be structured so that it takes a 3-year and a longer period. You would see that the next one of that starts in the 9th of February. There's opportunity for you to start getting in contact with the marketing and sales department of the IEDC, because this is a program that fills up quite more easily than some of the others, and therefore may be a good thing to consider applying earlier than later. The next program, our highest level, the doctoral program in management, is focused on strategic management and leadership. And that's important because we use the terminal degrees, the doctoral degree, to focus on those 2 areas, strategy and leadership, as they are the broadest, they are the most expansive, and they're also the ones that connect with general management best. They are also the 2 areas that for the most part are those that you will find only taught at business schools at this level. I know some other universities these days also try to provide the route through undergraduate studies into doctorates in strategy and leadership, but they are most of the time much more focused on the discipline rather than on the general management view that we take. We have two options here. The executive PhD is, or the PhD is one that is focused on people interested in an academic career, people potentially interested on teaching at a business school in particular, and that provides a PhD with an opportunity to equip you also with all the skills, knowledge, and resources related to research methodology, both qualitative and quantitative, to allow you to publish sufficiently well into your career. But we also, as a DBA, just would be launched in January, where we will focus a whole lot more on people who would like to have a doctoral level degree, a terminal degree, but who is more interested in that being part of their own personal development, their own career issues, their own personal business challenges, or maybe something that they would like to be an expert on, one particular area of business. It's also equipped not necessarily to lead into an academic career, but maybe in a career where you can join something within your business as an expert, maybe find the fulfillment that you're an expert in something in particular in your business and beyond, or a discipline, or maybe have the opportunity to teach at a business school on more executive education programs than on the formal academic side thereof. In this part, we have a 4-year degree program that runs over 4 years, with the difference being that the first 2 years are taught courses. There we have strategy and leadership as 2 separate courses, also run in 2 separate modules. And then there are 2 research methodology classes, 1 week of qualitative and a later week on quantitative research methodology. This allows candidates to know where they want to go in terms of what they want to study, and also how they want to study that. And then in the next year, we also have 4 different modules, 2 of them related to formal courses, again, set of electives, and academic writing as one of them. Contemporary issues in business is one of them. Arts and leadership is one of them. The philosophy of science is one of them. Philosophy of research is a quantitative course that we will introduce next year as well. And also contemporary issues in business and management as examples. To be quite honest, most students picked and elect academic writing to help them with their thesis, and also very interested in contemporary issues in business and management to make it really cutting edge and on the forefront of what's happening in the field. And then for years 2 and years 3 and 4, you basically are required then to complete your degree. Maybe something more in general about our classroom experience. We would very much like our experiences in class to be high touch, because a lot of what happens at a management education level, MBA level, or executive education level actually happens through the way in which the experience is structured within the class and somewhat beyond. So within class, we make a lot of focus on discussion, experiential learning, case studies, simulations, videos, variety of different material and pedagogical methods that we try to induce in our programs. But we also make quite a lot of the opportunity to allow people to network, to try to connect with one another, both in terms of business opportunities, but also beyond that, to have personal connection for them in many cases that last for much, much longer than after the course had been completed. The material that you see on the screen there relates in particular somewhat more to the MBA, that we say that relates to around 15 current nationalities represented in the MBA, but there are also opportunity for people to go and expand that to other opportunities then as well. it's important for us to briefly mention a couple of things related to the admissions requirements. You would see on the screen the executive MBA requires 3 years of management work, managerial work and experience, and it also requires a Bologna bachelor level or higher. That means a minimum of a 3-year degree. Now, important there is also the fact that we say that there should be proficiency in English, which means that our courses here are conducted in English. That's mainly to allow us to make use of faculty from all over the world. We have people come and teach in the classes from just about every part of the world. There are somebody on the MBA. Let me just share something about the MBA. Lecturers from the States, Canada, Africa, China, people from Eastern Europe, Western Europe, a whole lot of connection from a whole and across the world, and therefore we do that in English. The DBA, PhD, there we require an additional 2 years of management experience, again proficiency in English, and there of course we require a 4th degree, a 4-year degree, or then a degree that is aligned with what normally a master's will require. So to make it very practical, a 4-year degree, like a professional degree, may be able to get you over the line, but for most people that would require a first degree as well as a master's degree to get you into the DBA. Also bear in mind that these are executive programs, and therefore they allow you and they give you the chance and the requirement to work while you're at home, while you stay in your job, and while you then just come here to the school for the modular classes and the modular experiences over that time. That's also part of the reason why we require you to have management experience, because that broadens the opportunity to make it more practical and related to what happens in the real world in the class as well. As you may know, as the world of business schools change quickly, important also to be aligned with the accreditation bodies to make sure that international standards of accreditation are managed and that it is established. Therefore, our programs, the MBA and the DBA, are accredited by AMBA, the Association of Management, the Association of MBAs, which is the largest and also the most prestigious of MBA accredited institutions across the world. The middle one you will see there, NACFAS, is the local, the Slovene accreditation body. That is important for the reason that across Europe, all degrees, formal degree and study programs are aligned, and therefore the standard and the formats of them all are aligned, and you are required by law to be aligned with the Bologna Declaration through the local accreditation body. Therefore, local accreditation, in this case being the Slovene one, is also something that the MBA program of the school has obtained. And then the last one is the International Quality Accreditation. That is from CEMAN, the Central and European Management Association, as what it was called in the past. They has got a network of schools associated to them as well, and the school, the IEDC, also has got their programs accredited with IQA. You would see that these are some of the benefits after you've graduated. That's the graduating class of the MBA that you would see there in front of you. But they now have the opportunity, once you step through that door, they are just about to exit, to move into another world of connection, another global network of being connected. And that is through the alumni network of the school, where you would see that there are 15 alumni clubs all over the world, all more than 5,000 members. earlier on, I said that there's already been 90,000 people participating in some of our courses, but in many cases they participate in company programs. And the 5,000 members are those who had been partners of longer programs, the ones that I mentioned here, the GMP in particular, and also the MBAs. They come from 100 countries, or have been from 100 countries of the people that have participated in our courses. That's mainly related to the 90,000 that I explained earlier on. And we have more than 350 corporate partners to whom we have presented executive education programs. Now, I'm very happy and proud to say that we have teamed up with esteemed, let me call that, in that institution in Africa, the leading Women of Africa Association, of which Madeline is the president and the founder president, and having been a graduate here of the school as well, and a holder of the MBA, she remains committed to connect us with the continent of Africa as well, and to allow us to go not only within the world of expanding women in leadership, but also to expand Africans in our programs and raise the levels of management education also across the globe and in Africa in particular. You would see her telephone number there, the +27, designate South Africa, and she can be reached there if you would like to have any more information on that. Our sales team, marketing team, can be reached at the +386 number that you see there, and that you would probably like to jot down, the 386 there, referencing Slovenia then in particular. Maybe just to finish off, to say that it is an opportunity to connect two different parts of the world that sometimes have not been maybe seen as natural bedfellows. Eastern part of Europe and Africa may not always have been in contact to the degree what it maybe could be, but there are so many opportunities, both in terms of industry, in terms of history, in terms of culture, where there are connections to expand, connections to connect, that makes this a very unique experience also to explore from the African side as well. Therefore, it will be a great pleasure for us to have an opportunity to meet you here, to welcome you here, and also to invite you to be part of our programs. And talking about that, talking about the programs and the opportunities connected, I mentioned that we're in partnership or in collaboration with the leading Women of Africa organization, who just, as I mentioned, has started and founded. And through that program, or through that initiative, we also have, as the IEDC, a very exciting scholarship program. And the scholarship program allows you discount of up to 70% of, not discount of 70%, but to do the programs for 70% of what it is called. In particular, let me explain, and then you can calculate whether it is 70% of the program or 70% discount. It's actually, if you look at the figures on the that I can share with you, that it is a 70% discount that we offer people from Africa, not people from Africa in general, but people who are members or partners of leading women in Africa. In that regard, the following applies. For the Young Managers Program, normally the program is 2,900 euros, nearly 3,000 euros, but if you're a member of the Leading Women in Africa program or organization, we offer that at 870. So that's 70% of the program. The General Management Program, the one that runs over 2 weeks that I explained, normally sells for 7,900 euros plus VAT, that is around 8,000, and as part of this, we gladly offer it at 2,370 for people from Africa and also people associated with Madeline's founded Leading Women in Africa program. The PMBA, the one-year executive program, and we in particular suggest the 1 year here because it limits travel. Travel will probably be an additional cost, and therefore we make an offer to the 1-year executive MBA, and that is at a discount of 70%, means that the full price is normally 23,000 euros over the program, and we offer that for 6,900 euros only. And then the PhD program, that we are offering at the discount of only 10%, but it normally sells for 50 or is offered for 40,000 euro. We do that for 36,000 euro altogether. And there are, of course, limits to the way in which we can offer this. And therefore, for the Young Managers Program, we have 2 scholarships that can go and that we're offering at this price. And for the General Management Program, 1 scholarship. 1-year MBA program, 1 scholarship. And the Executive PhD program, there is 1 scholarship at this program then as well. So we would very much like you to apply as what you can, as quickly as you can, through either our school and the connections that you have with our school, see us on the web, or through Leading Women of Africa, that you can find information on the web as well, and that you also can connect with via WhatsApp. And maybe I should give the WhatsApp number, phone number for Madeline, that you can maybe jot down or can remember, and that is +27 812 184 736. That is the number where you can connect with her and maybe connect via WhatsApp, and then to be able to apply for this unique and very worthwhile experience and discount program. Maybe from my side, just one last thing, and that is to say thank you for your time. Thank you very much for the interest in the school, and I hope to see you very soon. There's also opportunity for a couple of questions if you would like to, but if not, we can gladly leave you in the hands of Madeline and also our marketing and sales force here at the school. Thank you very much. If there's any questions, we can maybe try to answer.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Okay, who first?
Is it Kingsley?
Yeah, yes, this is Kingsley. Sorry, thank you very much for that good presentation. Unfortunately, at some point I was cut off a bit, but I came back. On the executive MBA, when did you say the next session, the next one starts?
The next one starts on the 9th of February in 2020. 9th of 2020. A Monday evening.
Okay.
A Monday is the start, but normally we start the evening before with a little bit of a get-together and a hello, but the 9th, I think, would be a Monday.
All right. And I didn't quite get in terms of the qualifications as the entry point?
A 3-year bachelor's degree is the minimum.
Okay. All right.
Cindy, was that you also tried to come on the screen? I saw Cindy there, and maybe
yes. Yes, it's me. Hi. Good afternoon.
Hello, Cindy.
I just have a question. I'm busy completing my postgraduate diploma in management practice at UCT's postgraduate business school in Cape Town.
Yes.
Which is it's a pre-master's degree, which is the equivalent of a 4-year honors degree. So I just wanted to know, would that be acceptable as an entry point to the EMBA? Yeah,
if you can, and now you're in a, I wouldn't want to say fortunate or unfortunate situation that I'm aware of what the qualification criteria is in the South African system, but if you can just assure us that you have a SAQA level 7 qualification in the old qualification, SAQA qualifications, which probably you would be able to deliver, because a 4-year degree would talk into a bachelor degree plus one. So if you can say that, or can share or ask UCT just to give you confirmation that it is on a SAQA level 7, then of the old one, I'm not exactly sure, you know, they recently have extended the levels, but the same one as a bachelor degree.
I think it's an 8 if I recall correctly, so that would then qualify.
It is an 8.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, then they will definitely qualify.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Any more questions? If not, thank you very much once again for your interest and hope to see you here soon.
Thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.